Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless. We are back again, talking about Wizard of the Coast. Again. We keep coming back to Wizard of the Coast, again and again, with more ugly news, or more verifiable news of what Wizard of the Coast is. There is a reason for the constant layoffs of Wizard of the Coast, which is weird, right? Because you would think after Baldur's Gate 3 they would not be having layoffs. When in actuality all the layoffs during and after Baldur's Gate 3 are all on Wizard of the Coast. It is not on Larian Studios, even though I do have my negative thoughts about certain things in Baldur's Gate 3. All in all, that's a perfect game. However, anything involving Wizard of the Coast or Magic the Gathering, D&D, has all failed because now that there's less people, we're getting new people that probably don't know anything about Wizard of the Coast, D&D, or Magic the Gathering, and now they're changing formulas, changing ways with their communist fucking agenda, and giving us slop. Usually I don't use this word because I feel like it's been played out. Not this time. What we've been getting from D&D, what we've been getting from these losers in Wizard of the Coast and Magic the Gathering is all slop. Here's a perfect example. Magic the Gathering. Why are we getting cards related to Final Fantasy? Why are we getting cards related to characters that are not even related to Magic the Gathering? I hear they were about to make a Magic the Gathering card related to Spider-Man. Why do they keep on doing this? Here's another thing. Why is it that Magic the Gathering has a black Aragorn from Lord of the Rings? You want to tell me what the fuck is up with that shit? Because the last time I checked, Aragorn didn't have a nappy headed hair. Now, see, let me tell you what the hell is going on with Wizard of the Coast. These are individuals that do not care about money. It's basically, this is a perfect example. It's like, you know, when an individual who is illegally going into your house while you're home and they're squatting, house squatting. That's exactly what they're doing with Wizard of the Coast or D&D or Magic the Gathering. They're squatters. They don't benefit anything to the house. They shouldn't be in the house. They don't benefit the house. They are just here with their shit and they should be gone. They should be rooted the fuck out. These individuals are not here for anything other than themselves. That's just the truth. That's the way it is. And here's another thing. They don't even care, or they hate the former lead people of D&D. They hate them. So what they do is, well, we don't like this because we consider it racist. Who the fuck makes you the arbiter of what is racist? And here's another thing. Why the fuck do we care? Because last time I checked, racism was kind of cool. Especially when it comes to friends, and especially when it comes to entertainment. You know, elves don't like dwarves. Dwarves don't like literally anybody. It's just like BioWare. When it used to have like, nobody likes the humans. Nobody is, especially, humans are mostly populated and they don't like the Qunari. The Qunari don't like it when, like, women do things that are related to men because they, women need to be put in their place. We have all these sort of political or cultural differences that made stories great, but constantly Wizard of the Coast is doing this sort of victim virtue signaling mentality where they're just like, I know we don't have any money anymore. I know Hasbro is losing a whole bunch of money, but wouldn't it be cool if we had a black Aragon? Because everybody's been asking me to change Aragon black. Who's told you that? Man, all my friends. They're not here right now, but yeah, all my friends, they've told me this. So let's go back to this. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's right, the queerest, gayest, weirdest fucking shit I've ever fucking seen. Usually when you want somebody to be introduced to Dungeons and Dragons, you want them to have fun, not put something up their ass. This is like, it's like they're trying to appeal to children, but they forgot how children act. Last time I checked, I talked to, I was like, while I was like working and shit, this one kid was like, I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm a knight. And I was like, that's cool. It's like, is that a shield? Yeah. Are you gonna, I don't know, fight a dragon or something? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's it. That's the kid. That's it. He doesn't want any of this shit. Is this, you're trying to appeal to kids or to a modern audience? This is not what anybody wants. This is not what anybody wants to see. It's just how it is. Now, if this was an individual who drew this, like somebody just, oh, this is what I want to draw, nobody would care. But this is straight from Dungeons and Dragons, their own website, and they're like, oh man, the realm is for everyone. The realm isn't for everyone in D&D. The world is brutal. You got kobolds in here with fucking maracas. The last time I checked, kobolds don't like anybody except kobolds. Hell, sometimes kobolds kill their own. Yeah, it's that crazy. You got a blue dragon flying in the distance. Last time I checked, blue dragons don't like us. You got your rainbow up there. I know that's your favorite shit. You got your drag queens. You got gay fucking old ass couples. At least you portrayed them right. They're all fat. You got a gay couple in the middle. You want to know the funny thing about this is, I've been reading the comments on this picture, and gay people are hating this shit now. Because they're just like, can you just show some... They're like, can you stop portraying us? It's just like me with the Aragon shit. Can you stop trying to stop alienating us? Just stop it. Just put a giant barbarian dude holding a giant axe and fighting off a fucking dragon and like a hot dancer woman who's barely clothed holding on to his arm and shit. That's what people want. It's just how it is. Oh yeah, and like a shaman with a bow and arrow and shit, and like a dwarf with like an axe and a shield, and you know he runs like this and shit with some cool ass leather armor and shit. That's what we want. But we ain't getting that shit anymore. What we got is gay, communist, gay. This is what you got. Oh, and I totally forgot the biggest one on this picture. Why the fuck is there a beholder up in here? With his gay eyes and shit. Look at this motherfucker. He's looking at everybody just like, can't wait until we have an orgy. Are we serious right now? This is who we are. It's like a halftime show at like some sort of like sports arena. And everybody's just like, oh shit, cool football game. Oh shit, cool Olympics. And everybody's pumped and shit. And here comes the fucking queers. Ruining our mood and shit. and they can't sing, and they're just like, look at me in a dress, and everybody's just like, is the halftime over? And then they start singing their second song and be like, all right, the halftime's not over. I'm gonna go get a hot dog, cause this shit's annoying. That's the kind of shit that I'm fucking talking about. You got Beast Boy on the left. You got guy with earrings. We got this. The haircuts just show. When they have the side haircuts, it just shows the bullshit. You want to know my favorite part in this whole picture? Is the white people all the way in the fucking back. Like, the white people are all the way in the back. Like, they drew the white people all the way in the back. Like, I guess we'll just be here. Let me get out the fucking way. My bad, king. You left your crown, king. Are they smiling? I would assume that they're smiling. But this is devoid of masculinity. This is somebody's fucking fever dream. You got... you want to tell me why there's a tower in the background that looks like a fucking flaccid dildo? You want to tell me why that's... you see it? It's right there. Why... Usually, when you see a tower, it's either straight up or it falls down. And that would be kind of interesting, like to have a tower like crashing down and shit. No, they made this tower flaccid, and I'm like, I know what you niggas are up to, okay? I got that queer knowledge. I wish I didn't have it. Nobody else has it. Well, some people do. I know that you're trying to be like, oh shit, look at this fucking dick tower. And I'm like, every time when I see something that's like trans-coded, I'm like, this is stupid, but I know exactly what this is. And then they tell you later, this is exactly what I was doing. And I'm like, God damn it, I knew I was right. God damn it, I knew I was right. And I'm like, I always mention this shit to chat and say like, this is coded for this. And then somebody in the comment section would be like, no, it's not. That doesn't make any sense. And then later on, when you find out that the author or their director is fucking trans as well, or fucking gay, and they're just like, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. And I'm just like, well, there it is. There's the truth. And then they're just like, well, what's the problem with it? And I'm like, nah, Mick, nah, motherfucker. Then they just go post that shit to be like, well, what's the problem? What's wrong with it? If you don't like it, don't watch. That's ooh. If you don't like it, don't play it. That's the shit I'm talking about. And also those fucking fat fuck losers, they come up to you with that bullshit where they're just like, you control the buttons you press, or this could be your story, but it doesn't have to be everybody else's story. Fuck that shit. Dungeons and Dragons has been doing this forever, and that's their whole staple. You want to know what the sad part is? Whoever's been doing the Dungeons and Dragons website is pretty fucking dope. The setup for the Dungeons and Dragons website is... Whoever's been doing the web design is pretty fucking legit. Too bad it's fucking gay, though. But this is all the fucking slop that they've been doing with not only Dungeons and Dragons, but also Magic the Gathering. And I want to preface this so much. Nobody likes this shit. Not me, straight me, not you, not the person right behind you, not the gay people, because they don't show up for their own shit. They just don't. They're just like, man, I'm so glad we put this up here. And I'm like, then you're gonna play it, right? You're gonna buy the $70 or $50 book, right? And then they don't. And I'm like, so who's buying the books? And then we get layoffs, and I'm just like, man, you should have been there for them. You should have been there for them. Now they got more layoffs. You should have been there. I couldn't be there because it's not for me anymore. You should have been there. So this is what they've been changing with D&D and Magic the Gathering. Changing the terminology, replacing the... I feel like I've been having this conversation with you before, but I'm glad that AI is able to like consolidate everything that that I've been watching out for. I think the species one is the biggest one, because there's a lot of, I wouldn't say Bretons, but half elves. There's a lot of half elf lovers out there, and they are, I would say some of the half elf lovers are pissed, and at the same time they're just like, I guess that's just how it is. Y'all motherfuckers need to bring up your testosterone. You need to voice your opinion to Dungeons and Dragons, because these motherfuckers are a race and like races straight off the get-go. Anyway, let's move on. Changing terminology, replacing the term race with species in the 2024 core rulebooks. Decoupling ability scores from species, introducing optional and then core rules that allow players to customize their character's ability score increases, rather than having them tied to their chosen species, like elves and, you know, dexterity and, you know, the cool shit that was with 3.5 and shit. See, this is the kind of bullshit that I'm fucking talking about, because you got motherfuckers out here trying to be a halfling and they're just like, I can be a barbarian. No. If I ever made a video game, if you want to be a halfling barbarian, go ahead, but you're gonna be gimped. That's me. That's me. Hell, I would go a step further. If I made my own like D&D game, I'd be like, men get 1+ strength and women get negative strength. Men get a negative intelligence, women get a plus intelligence. And then you could just work your way from there. That's it. That's what I'd do. And then people would be like, well, why do the women get a negative on strength? Because every single time that you're in trouble or that something physical is happening, you guys always are looking for men. When nothing bad is happening, y'all hate men. But as soon as something bad happens, you guys are like, nothing bad is happening. Defund the police. And then when something bad happens, they're just like, where are the police at? Where are the police at? You know what I mean? They always fucking do that. It's like, yo, fuck the military. Something bad happens. They're just like, where's the military at? Don't we need a military? Get rid of these guns. And then something bad happens. They're just like, we're kind of unequipped right now. You see what I'm saying? So I would find that kind of interesting, because this is what I would do in like this sort of game, where if I'm literally giving women the ability to have stronger magic powers. I'm literally doing that. I'm giving you a +1 on intelligence. If you're doing dexterity, fucking elf, I'm giving you the tools to do dexterity elf. And if you want to do something else, you can, but you're gonna have to adjust with your ability score points. But no, we don't get that with D&D anymore. Everybody's the same. This is why I fucking hate communist bullshit, because they always do shit where it's like everything is whitewashed. We're all the same here. We're all the same. No, that's boring. I don't like everything being the same. That's boring communist bullshit. I like it when if you bring in a half orc into your team, anybody that talks to the half orc, people are racist to the half orc because he's a fucking dirty half orc. And that's just how it's gotta be, because orcs are fucking dangerous. That's just how it is. And if any motherfucker comes up to you saying like, isn't an orc kind of like a black guy? That's the racist. That's nobody thought that, okay? Nobody said that. It's like, why does everybody hate the orc? Huh. Everybody hates the orc because they're physical and they're violent, and also the orcs have big lips. Wow, guys, you hate black people? And everybody turns to the motherfucker like, where the fuck did he get that shit when orcs are black people? These are the same individuals working at fucking Wizard of the Coast. I'm just saying. Reworking evil species. That's right. That's why kobolds are just fine dancing and shit. You know, shaking their fucking maracas and shit. So there's no evil species. Everybody's just neutral or just nice. Doesn't that sound fun? Don't you want to start off a story where it's just like you go into a dungeon and then the goblins are just handing you loot and they're spreading your butt cheeks so you can fuck them in the ass? Wouldn't that be a great story? Doesn't that sound fun? Oh, you thought you were gonna have like a boss battle when you go in that dungeon? No! The only thing that's at the end of the dungeon is a beholder, and the beholder wants to give you kisses. That's it. You over here thinking that things are bad gonna happen. No, not that. Removing problematic depictions, updating or removing descriptions of fictional peoples that echoed real-world stereotypes, such as the Vistani in the Curse of Strahd adventure, whose depiction was noted as being reminiscent of stereotypes associated with the Romani people. I like Necrons because they depict kind of like an Egypt kind of shit. You're gonna get rid of... Is Game Workshop gonna get rid of Necrons? You're gonna get rid of Necrons? Are we gonna get rid of Necrons because it almost sounds like the N-word? Are we gonna do that too? You wanna know the funny thing about this part right here that they were talking about with the problematic depiction? Nobody depicted that at all. Nobody cared at all. This is their own echo chamber saying, doesn't this person remind you of a Romani kind of like the Romanian people? And the funny thing is, if you told somebody that, somebody would be like, oh, I'm from Romani. I think that's pretty cool that they added that. Awesome, 2 thumbs up. And then these motherfuckers go, get it out the fucking rule book. Get it out the fucking lore book. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I like Romani. I'm from Romani. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, but get it out of here. And I'm like, what the? You see what I mean? Using sensitivity readers, incorporating cultural and sensitive consultants into the creative process to identify potential blind spots and problematic content. Anybody that says the word problematic content, you can throw that shit right out the window, okay? Listen, I like Marvel Rivals because the only thing you can't say in fucking chat is free Taiwan. That's the best I can do. Now, if they... I'm pretty sure there's more, but this whole I hate it when people just come up to you. They come up to you with this false sense of security, like this false sense of freedom, like, oh, you can do whatever you want. And I'm like, well, this is what I want to do. I want to do this, 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 and this. And they're like, oh, 4 of those sound racist. We're gonna have to talk to you in the back. Implementing safety tools, including sections in books like the Dungeon Master's Guide that suggest using safety tools, which are checklists and signals players can use to stop play if a sensitive topic makes them feel unsafe. You know what? I would just add it in my story if I was the game master and I didn't like a bitch. I'd just look at her and be like, yeah, so that lesbian is about to get double penetrated by 2 big white guys that are greased up and shit. And she's like, no, I don't like this game. Well, you got 2 choices. You either fight them or you can leave. Well, I'm leaving. And I'm like, awesome. I like the rest of your friends. You can leave. All right, boys. So I would put problematic shit in the game just to get the fucking weasels, the weeds out of my fucking garden. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, can I play as a cat person in my game? Sure, absolutely. It's like, anyway, you're in a land full of people that love to eat cats. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's like, can I be a furry? Sure, absolutely. Anyway, so you're in a forest where a whole bunch of white dudes are trying to skin animals and shit. And they're like, what? Diversity in hiring. That's another thing that they added, but the funny thing is, There's no such thing as diversity, especially when it comes to DEI, because even they don't like black people. As a matter of fact, it's always the snake in the grass kind of diversity people that talk about diversity, because at one point they'll be like, black people, and then the next moment you notice that they don't hire black people, but they hire all the white women for some odd reason. It's kind of funny. And here's another thing: as soon as you put on a Trump hat and you're a black woman, now you're something entirely different. Now they can, out of nowhere, just call you all the slurs out of fucking no. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? Anyway, Magic the Gathering, banning cards. I wish we can ban all the fucking, like, cards that are not related to Magic the Gathering. I saw a Sephiroth card. I saw the Aragon fucking, like, Lords of the Ring card. That shit should be banned. Removing specific cards from the official Gathering database and sanctioned tournament. Have you noticed that Wizard of the Coast is always talking about, like, from the official Gatherer database, or from the official guide, or from the OG? So we're taking out the things that were enjoyable in the very beginning of the manual, and we're gonna rip the shit out. You know what I mean? When are they gonna ever add a rule where they say, so we're not gonna be gay anymore, so we're taking all the shit that we do out of the game or out of the tool set, and then we're just leaving all the Gygax shit. We're gonna leave all the 3.5 shit. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Hell yeah, sign me up. Also, women are gonna have titty armor, and I'm like, shit, finally. It's never that way, it's the other way around. Representation, here we go. Efforts to include a broader range of diverse characters. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This is Wizard of the Coast. And you know what? You know what? After all this ranting, after all this bullshit, I do not want them to ever change, because either two things are gonna happen. One, China's gonna buy you, or two, they're just gonna shut down completely. I don't think it's gonna be the second one. It's like they're gonna fall into obscurity because there's so many other different things for Dungeons and Dragons. There's alternatives, of course, but this is what people really enjoy. This is what people really like, and it's amazing. It's downright amazing. See, this is what you need right here. That's. See, that's what a dragon would do, if I remember correctly. Anyway, there was one more thing that I wanted to show you, and I think it withstands Lee Longshanks. Do I have him followed? No, I do have him followed. Today, D&D is cynical, corporate-driven slop. Instead, play games produced by people who actually understand and respect the hobby. We got ourselves Castle Crusaders. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty awesome. We got ourselves Old School Essentials Classic Fantasy. Pretty cool set. I like this. I like the whole different artistic style to each one of these. We also have Shadow Dark RPG. This is the one that I've been checking out. And we also have the Astonishing Swordsman and Sorceries Hyporbia. Now, I want to state this. By the way, she's got titty armor. That's great. I want to state this very clearly. It's not the individuals that are playing D&D. It is Wizard of the Coast themselves. These are the people that I'm focused on, because if you want to make your own set of like rule set, your own set of, what's the word I'm looking for, homebrew, you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not here to attack that. I'm here to attack Wizard of the Coast because they are dividing fans, but also fans completely are just outright leaving. A lot of subscriptions tied to D&D have been lost. A lot of layoffs have been happening. They're trying to do Baldur's Gate 4, and that shit's not going to happen without Larian Studios. That's just not going to happen. And so Wizard of the Coast is in this room where not only do they not have enough money to have all their associates, but now they're gonna have to figure out how to get themselves out of debt, because they are extremely in debt for the right reasons. They set themselves up, okay? They set themselves up. And to be honest, I don't fucking care. We have alternatives. We do. And I'm fine with trying other things, checking out other things. I strongly believe that at this time, if you have something in your brain where you're just like, oh, I have an idea for something, I want to do something, I want to create something, do it. Whether you're in gaming or tabletop, make your own thing and gatekeep the shit out of that shit. That's right. Gatekeep the shit out of that motherfucker. Because we've already done this whole like, oh, well, everybody's invited. Everybody can come. No. Be at the gate and be like, listen, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And this is what's going to happen. If we have any problems, you're free to leave. And then if they say something, well, like, well, I don't know. I kind of want to... I want to be a furry in this story, and I'm like, nah. You're gonna have to. You can take that somewhere else. You can do that in a different campaign. Just not here. It's not here. It's like, well, how about 2 old lesbian couples? And I'm like, nah, not here. Not only the sucky thing about this whole thing is not only are they changing the lore, but they're also changing the mechanics to make everything just the same. Just pure white the same. It's kind of like bleaching a whole entire room and taking out the furniture. Just taking out all the photos, and the whole room is just a window and maybe a bed. It's just devoid of anything interesting, anything impactful, anything sort of, because I'm just going to be honest here. The racism part of D&D was what made D&D great. It's just like that with BioWare, with Dragon Age, and it's just like that with even Mass Effect. The different cultures meshing with each other. And also the biggest component here is conflict. Conflict is the biggest component for D&D, and you take away conflict, you take away the essence of what D&D is. If you do this whole thing where it's just like, oh man, well, it's a whole bunch of gay people and furry people, and they're just all fucking around, and then the evil white man comes around and then just tells us no, and then he's being a bigot and shit. And what is that? What story is that? What story are you telling? What story is this? It's basically Veilguard. Veilguard literally did that. All your fucking gay ass fucking queer stories are the same. They're all the same. It's like, oh man, we were busy fucking each other in the ass, minding our own goddamn business, when all of a sudden the white man came by and told us no. The funny part is, he didn't even force it. He just said ew. He just said ew, and then left the city. He said, ew, a lot of gay people. And then he left the city. And then 5 warriors, 5 gay warriors with butt plugs have decided to find this white man and take him down. This is a 5-part series. The white guy's like running away like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Anyway. I mean, I get it. If some species aren't in official rulebooks, then you shouldn't make them. But I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls is not woke because Khajiits and Argonians are a thing. That's a different thing. That's a different thing whole entirely. Because that's part of the lore. Furries are not part of the fucking lore of anything. They're not a part of anything. They're just fucking weirdo pedophiles that are just waiting to save some children, and then they'll be like, all right, well, since the kids don't have a family anymore, I guess I'll just take care of them. And then you hear the squeaker toy. Look how they massacred my boy. Yes. Well, I wouldn't mind a short stack, a goblin girlfriend. Oh, okay. All right, we're done. That was the video. Oh, God, my chat wants to fuck a goblin. Okay. All right, we're done. It was good seeing y'all. Jesus.